Welcome back, everybody. Let's do some drawing. So thank you for everyone that voted. I sometimes just get to the point I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what I want to draw. And today I've done quite a few little doodles by myself, and I thought, oh, need something for tonight to post. I should have posted what I was doodling earlier. Actually, I just forgot. Forgot I had a channel at all, and I was just doing little barbarian things and zombie things and goblin things, and I thought, oh dear, should have done that on the channel, but never mind. Plenty of time. So everyone that voted, thank you. It was pretty strong for a ranger with a whip, and I wonder if everyone's got the same sort of thoughts when they think of whip and that's Castlevania, because I think that game and that series on Netflix really pushed for that archetype being just kind of awesome, you know. Very cool. And everyone likes Belmont. Cool, right, so we've got lots of hair. A little nose. Doesn't need too much detail. That was meant to be hair. That's fine. And then, so she's going to be wearing, I think it's a she. She's going to be wearing sort of the usual buckled leather armor. I like drawing. Find it easy and fun to draw. It's got a nice shape as well. I always try and do this curve. I think it really doesn't matter who I'm drawing. If I can get some movement, you know, from the body itself, then I feel like the arms and the legs don't need to do as much work to have something interesting. Do some little chainmail there as well. You know, kind of a weird one actually, because down here it was kind of, when I was doodling and sketching, I thought, oh, it's definitely going to be a very foresty sort of elf. And I just did some chainmail, so yeah, a bit of a unique one. Maybe she's an adventurer that's kind of just grabbed what's ever available to her, you know? It could be more like that. Like when you first start playing a Dark Souls game, or, you know, anything like that, you just, Skyrim, you just grab anything and you have this really funny mix match character, you know, it's all these terribly inaccurate, not inaccurate, but, I don't know what the word is. If it doesn't really fit. There was probably a word there at some point. Probably knew what I was going to say for once then, and then it's gone. That's fine. Because she's archer, maybe by, you know, the daytime, she'll wear like one of those little archer gauntlet thingies. Oh, if you know the name of the things I'm trying to say, please do let me know. I feel like as soon as I start talking for these things, I just forget any word. Well, just all words, really. She have like a little plait, and that's kind of flicking off in the wrong direction, but I guess she's moved her whole body, so it's like whipped around. That's my theory anyway. And her back arm, she doesn't wear any armor or anything on that. She just got a, maybe a little glove. She's thinking of it. She's doing it with her left hand. She must be left-handed. Which is kind of cool. Do some more hair. I don't even want to draw a neck, I don't think. Yeah, I do. And then I have talked about in the past, just wanted to do like an interesting whip. But today, because there's multiple characters you'll see soon, there's some zombie friends come to play. So I think I might do more of a basic one. otherwise I might get quite lost. And in the usual fashion, I will try to remember to continue drawing the video and do the shading with pencil. So I've talked about it a dozen times now, I just always forget. I normally get too hot in my little room and think, you know what, it's time for a cuppa. And with that, has everyone got their cuppas? Or is it too warm today for cuppas? Who knows? Actually, you know, saying that, I will add a few little details to the whip because I feel like it's boring otherwise. So yeah, the details I think about are just like kind of wraps of leather, and I'm gonna do like almost like a knot at the end. It's almost like she's made her own whip. That's gonna wrap around. Yeah. I've got the shakiness again today, so I have to try and figure out a way of using my natural shakiness to my advantage. And I guess the whip will get thicker there. And if I was doing a more detailed drawing, I think what I do is try and do like semicircles like that. And as you get closer to the sort of the camera, if that makes sense. Yeah, of course it does, because that's the camera. But I meant more like your face, or my face. My face has a camera. Ignore that. So what I would do is draw like semicircles coming forward, so it kind of gives that sense of the whip getting closer, becoming larger, because of perspective. I don't know if any of that made any sense in any shape or form, but I'm going to stick to it. So I want to do him first because I don't want to smudge him. So I have to start naming the zombies. So this is Gav. He used to work at the bank. He's been a zombie now for about 11 years. He's doing pretty well. You know, big fan of brains. You know, long strolls in the woods. That sort of thing. You know, he's gonna have a little tummy there as well. And then little spine, shoulder blades, and little lines, and little dots, you know, some little bits dropping off him, who knows what. Oh, that's cool. You know what, that's kind of a mistake, but I have that as sort of, you know, the tibular fibula, are the right ones? The forearm muscles kind of like falling apart. You know, we'll have his finger falling off there as well. And then his face, what should we do? We sort of, yeah, we'll just do it, you know, the sort of the sunken eye and almost entirely a skull. He won't have a jaw. His bottom jaw's sort of just popped off over, you know, the last few weeks. But, you know, he was still a bit of a rocker in his day, a little bit punk, and he's got, you know, a nice little bit of hair, you know. It comes down his back. Do some little hairs. Yeah, that's nice enough. Little flick over the front. That's cute. Right, and then, you know, maybe he was a barbarian or something. You know, he worked at the bank, but, you know, in his off time, he was a barbarian, and he's wearing this barbarian loincloth. Some of the time, maybe it is a loincloth, you know. It's not just a Tarzan thing. I just think that's really funny. Funny name. Loincloth. So yeah, he's got his little loincloth. You know, we have his feet at a weird, awkward angle because, you know, zombies don't worry about that sort of thing of looking silly. And then one big toe at the end, and do some lines. Yeah, nice. That's cool. Right, so hope everyone's enjoying the videos so far. I'm having a blast making them, and it's just been really fun to just kind of draw different things, and interesting to see that what does really well and what doesn't. There's a few videos I released, and I thought, oh yeah, if that's anything's gonna break through, it's gonna be those, and then it didn't at all. I thought, oh, that's so weird. It's so interesting. It doesn't do how I think it will, but again, I think the goal for this channel is just a nice little place to draw, build a little community, talk to people. Oh, someone was mentioning if I had any social media. I don't. I'm not a big fan of social media, not because, it's not useful or anything. I just never really been one for it, and but it doesn't mean I won't ever have one. I think maybe, one day that could be really useful actually, and maybe I will. But yeah, let me know what sort of social media you think would be good for sort of this sort of channel. I guess it would just be a place to show, the little doodles I'm doing, because I do a lot of stuff off camera as well, because I do really like drawing. It's my little escape, my little place to just draw whatever I want and practice things, and usually I kind of just draw the same things over and over again because I like repetition. Oh yeah, oh my god. So this one's been hit by the whip, and it will make sense, and so this is his nose, and he's sort of like looking up. I don't think it's super clear now. We'll put a shoulder blade, and we'll put another one there, and hopefully that will add a bit more. Hopefully it will make more sense, and we'll give this little person, we'll give some shorts, in true zombie fashion. They're all ripped, at the mid-thigh. I wonder why that is. Maybe everyone's at the gym when they turn into zombies. Whenever I see a zombie film, they always got like mid-thigh ripped shorts. Just thought of that now. It's really weird. Yeah. Right, and we'll do this one. I sketched the arm there, but it's really way too far away, isn't it? So this arm's kind of facing him, I suppose. And we'll do his thumb there. Yeah, the idea was he's like been hit with a whip and he's already like whipped back. Hit with a whip, whipped back. Nice. Right, well, I don't know what we need to do to kind of show that he's been hit. Maybe we could do like a little comic-y, like, sort of a splatter thing, but we'll see if that's needed towards the end. And there's his toes. Yeah, little bones on his toes. Nice. And where should the other leg be? I guess it should be like maybe here. I think I sketched it, but I can't really see what I've sketched. We'll just do a bit of freehand here. So the knee, and then that's where the calf would be. His toes. Yeah, nice. I'm not sure about cross-hatching in this one. Maybe it doesn't need it. It's actually quite small, isn't it? I thought it was going to be bigger than this when I was sketching now. I don't know why, but it just looked bigger than it is, but it's quite wee. That's okay. Doesn't need to be a big one. It's only one for a bit of fun. Right, and then she have, I don't know if she has sort of like trousers on, or maybe like fabric ones or leather ones or some sort of armor. Yeah, we'll do some sort of like armor all the way. Be more details to draw. I think it looks better. Some little buckles sticking out. And there we go. Okay, we got the top of the boot, knee pad, the back of the dress. Nice, back of the dress there. And then buckle, shoelaces, some more definement, top of the boot. Nice. If you guys ever want a, just thought of this little like how-to drawing videos. I mean, I don't think I'm exactly an authority on it, but I do have a few little techniques I use when I'm drawing. God, her head's huge. She's got a massive head. Oh, hang on. Let's see if we can rescue this. I've just noticed that the head's absolutely huge. Or maybe it's because she got a really long ear. Oh, maybe that's it. This looks massive then. Maybe it's the angle. Anyway, so he's been done in, so he didn't get very close. And then we got Francis or Bob or whatever his name was, and then we got this handsome chap. Yeah, let's do this handsome chap, don't we? And yeah, I don't know what this person's story is. He sort of looked at the fight and thought, do you know what? No thanks, I'm going the other way. And he's just off. I did do a big version of something very similar to this earlier today, but I was a bit worried because it was a little bit sort of more on the cuff than my usual. Cuff? Is that the right expression? Doesn't sound right. I don't think I've ever used that expression. It was a bit more like, not exactly violent, it was zombie. So it was zombie violence, I guess. Anti-zombie. But I wasn't sure about showing, just in case it's a little bit too, you know, The Walking Dead sort of stuff, you know what I mean? But it was kind of cool. But yeah, let me know if you don't mind that sort of thing, or, you know, obviously everyone's, you know, levels of sort of comical gore is different. And you got a big tongue sticking out. So I don't want to upset anyone, really. It's not what the channel's about. Cool. Little spine. No. Those little muscle bits. There you go. Cool. Sort of making this up. You know, you're drawing enough triceps that you kind of know how they look. You know, little obliques, lower trapezius, upper trapezius, all them stuff. Got some abs. There we go. And some, you know, the usual rotty sort of stuff. And then he's going to have a little, I don't know why they have claws, but they just do. To say that these zombies have claws, not just normal fingers, because, I don't know, man. I feel like zombies aren't that scary. I mean, not those running ones, they're terrifying. I take it back. Zombies are scary. There we go. And he's got a little eye. Looking back over his shoulder, thinking, oh, this doesn't sound like a good idea at all. We'll put a hair there just so it has sort of, you can see this in the front, and there's some depth, I guess. Right, and then we've got the whip. We'll do a little bit more of the whip, and we'll come back to the last character. I can't see what the whip is. I've drawn over. Oh, I've drawn over the lines. Oh, maybe that's what that line was there for. That would make sense. Okay, never mind. I'm going to do it here. It's kind of cool actually, the whip's kind of disappearing, I guess. It's because it's going so fast. And we'll change the trajectory of this one because we've kind of, royal we, we've kind of, and that. So Timothy's fine for now. This chap on the end, the whip hasn't quite made it there, but cool. That's looking alright. I was going to draw some lines. Maybe I will at the end. I'll see how we do. So I want a different sort of zombie now. So I've drawn 3 typical ones. So I think, like a boomer. You know, these ones, the big explosive ones. Or maybe one wearing clothes. Oh, that's what we'd do. I was going to congratulate myself on a great idea. How weird is that? Yeah, well done, man. Right, I've got an idea. Okay. We'll have a zombie knight. Yeah, that'd be cool. So he's got his little hood, or her hood. I don't think it matters. And then sort of the shirt, which is all tattered. And we go like this. And here we have some chainmail. Very technically drawn chainmail. Lots of circles. And yeah, the last little bit of that. Nice. And then the other bit of his shoulder armor here. And right, so this is kind of like his shirt's torn, and then we'll have some chainmail sort of swinging in the wind, sort of all broken up. And then we'll have a very bony zombie. Like so. Apologies if this one doesn't look very good. I'm making up as I go along. There's not really any plan. Another little bony hand there. You know what I could have done? I could have done like a cool little gauntlet or something. You know, one of these days we'll do like a really long video, and we'll plan it. We'll do all the planning. We'll do really good planning for it. That might be a nice exercise as well, just to sort of help me not worry about time as much. And there's this little thing. He's got a couple of belts, but obviously they're going to wrap around quite a bit now because he's lost a few pounds, you know, being a zombie and all. And then we have some sort of stitching, you know, some sort of marking. I don't know what though. And then I come back around here. Okay, cool. Rough stitching. So the stitching's coming out, I guess. You know, probably been a zombie for a long time. What should he wear? Like gauntlets or trousers or... you know what? He'll wear chainmail. So the chainmail would be all the way to about there. There we go. And probably hanging off a little bit, isn't it? You know, it's worn down. He's probably bumped into a few things since his time as a zombie. Yeah, so the other choices, what were they? Goblin fighting some barbarian? No. A barbarian fighting some goblins. That's what I meant to say. But we can always do that another time. We've still got to do the hag from last time we did a vote for the 100 subscribers, which, by the way, I think at the time of recording this video, we're on about 154. That's incredible. You know, it was only 3 days ago we hit 100, so I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for, you know, are we doing one at 200 or 250? I got a very busy week at work, I know that much, so I don't know if to, you know, do another silly quick one like we did before, or, you know, for the last 100, or, you know, we really think about something that would be really cool to make. You know, I think it'd be cool to do some art, and then I could always upload it. So if you wanted to like download it or something for free, you know, it might be good for like coloring in or something, you know, because I don't do any coloring myself. So maybe that's what we could do. We could do like a free download, like a nice high-res image, something like that. I don't know. Let me know if something like that you'd enjoy, because everything I do tends to be black and white, just ink anyway. I mean, sometimes I color with pencil, but it's because you can't really go too wrong with pencil. I would just rub out all those bits. Try not to rub out the ink, as sometimes I do. Nice. That's looking alright. And then, do we need pencils? I don't think we need pencils. That's alright, isn't it? It's kind of fun. You know, it's kind of silly. And when I'm thinking about it, I'll show you I did a little goblin barbarian drawing. I'll just show you now if you fancy seeing. Let me. So there was barbarian, the goblin, and goblin had run out of arrows, and barbarian hadn't run out of being a barbarian. Anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed this silly little image. I'll see if I can just get a little bit closer. Something like that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I am sweating. Oh, it's warm in here. So anyway, hope you have a wonderful weekend. You all take care. Bye.